Okay, so here we have a phase linear 400. This is a 400 watt amp. It was made in the, about 1976, right in there. So what's that make it? Almost 50, well, about 50 years old now. Wow, time flies. Hey, it works great, except a lot of the bulbs are burned out, so I'm going to show y'all how to replace bulbs in a phase linear 400. I've got the bulbs and the LEDs from a seller on eBay who specs them just for the phase linear 400. I've got them the LED version, which they say is warm and lasts longer, and then I've got the incandescent bulbs in this package here. As you can see, I've got an incandescent bulb on the top and then the LED version just underneath it, and they're both clamped to these alligator leads, and I'm going to run them at 6 volts. So I'm going to turn it on now, and y'all can decide which one y'all like better and how you want your VU meters to look. I'm going to turn it on now. There we go, and there you go. Here's the incandescent bulb on top. See if I can zoom in, get a better angle. As you can see, the LED one on the bottom is like super bright compared to the bulb, and then it's a very harsh, it's not as harsh as can be. The temperature is definitely a higher Kelvin value. The incandescent bulb right here is a much warmer glow, and so I'm going to go with the bulb. And you hear people talking about, oh, LEDs last longer than bulbs, and that is and isn't true. I've got, as you can see, other amplifiers and other equipment, and I've had LED burnout on the power indication, say on this, and I've had to replace it. I've also had the bulbs burn out like on this, but you know, after 50 years, and it's not hard to replace, so I'm going to put the originals in here and give this nice warm glow to the VU meters. And now that I'm backed away, maybe you can see the difference better. Yeah, the bulb is on the top. Well, anyway, I'm going to take this cover off so you can get to the bulb bus, voltage bus for it, and yeah, so we'll do that now. Alright, so I've turned the amp over, and I've removed 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 screws, put them over here, take the cover off, and as you can see, I can zoom in a little bit. Yeah. Maybe move this over a little so you can see the back plane. But here's the power bus here. Goes all along, and then looks like one. Let's see if you can see that. There's 1, 2, 3, 4. I can see 4 solder joints there. I wonder if I can zoom in even more. And for that VU meter. And then over here on this one you can see, let's take a look here, 1, 2, 3, 4. And let me take this off for a second so you can see that. Yeah, everywhere you see 2 solder joints, that's a bulb. 2 here, 1, 2, 3, and then 4. So I'm going to take these nuts off, and here's another one, another nut. Take these off, and then we can just turn the board off, and we'll desolder these and solder in the new bulbs. Alright, so it looks like a 1/4 inch opened end wrench will fit these nuts here that's holding this on here. See if I can. This one seems to have arthritis. Not sure if I'm spinning the whole thing or not. Let's try another one. Wow. That's really tight. I don't like that. This is obviously all original. Never been done. Maybe I'll rock it a little bit. I don't know if it's corroded on there or not. I'll get some Trinity, some little oil on here. Maybe let it soak for a while. That's really stiff. The only thing I see under there is a nylon washer. Wow. It's we'll let this oil sit there for an hour or so and come back and see if that moves it. Well, it appears as though that little bit of oil is working. My goodness. That was really weird. And they're coming off. Yeah, it looks like there was some corrosion on the back side, I guess. Or maybe some Loctite. I'm not sure why. Maybe that is Loctite on there. Wow. What else could it be? Getting it with my finger now. There, I got it. Let's go to the next one. Almost feels like a kind of Loctite, but I've never seen white Loctite before. So I'm not sure. So, yeah, make sure you put a little lube on there and wait a little bit, and then it appears to be working. It still has some resistance, so you really do need a good wrench to get those on. If they were on there surprisingly tight, it's like I thought I was gonna break it, but they all let loose. Wow, there we go. Get this one. That's 2. I'm not sure if you can see that, but there's like, zoom in. See, it's like something white, like white Loctite on there. Well, let me finish getting the other 2 here, and then we'll get back to you. Okay, still working on getting them off. Just as a note, these center 2, this one here and here, they have these nylon washers on them. Just these 2. Not sure if you can see that, but that's to keep the nut from, when you tighten it down, from making contact with some of these PC runs. It's a printed circuit board. I don't know if it's acid etched or how they made them back in the day, but yeah, you don't want to be crowbarring these veins back there. So it's just these 2. The end ones here don't have any nylon because there's nothing underneath them that the nut would ever touch to make contact with or to crowbar. So keep that in mind. I'm about to get this last nut off of here, and I find it very odd. They act like friction nuts instead of nuts that would just spin on with your finger. I mean, it's got friction all the way off, although once you get them going, there's less of it. Probably like 10 times less friction, but it's definitely got friction. Looks like all the way to the end here. And it's too much to spin with my finger even, but getting there. Jeepers, come on. Still too much. That is amazing. I'm going to once I get these off, I'm going to put a little oil on those threads when I put these nuts back on. There it comes now. Now I can spin it off. Yeah. I mean, there it is. 4 nuts, 2 nylon washers. Yeah. So this should just come off, and it does. Or it's acting like it wants to. This one's a little bit stuck. Oh, here it comes. Alright. So this will be interesting seeing how far out. Oh yeah. There we go. You can see those. Yeah. They definitely looking their age. These are obviously the ones burned out. Most of them. So alright, so what I'm going to do is if I can rotate this over. Oh, and I can. Is I'm going to, nice. They gave us enough slack where we can do this. I'm going to use this solder sucker here. And what you do is you push this down like that. And then once you get the solder hot for the bulb, once it's melted, you put this on there and you push the button and it sucks the solder right off the weld and should leave a clean hole, and we should be able to just drop these bulbs right out. I noticed right away the bulbs I was sent by my seller. They are not quite the same physical size as the original ones. The original ones quite a bit larger in diameter, as you can see. But if these work, we'll use them. And I can already see that they probably have it about 10 millimeters standoff from the circuit board, so it illuminates the VU meter correctly. So yeah, let me see if I can do a bulb while y'all watch. And remember, the bulbs are not polarity sensitive, whereas the LEDs, let me grab one of the LEDs for you. Put the bulb there. Yeah. Here's the LED. As you can see, one lead is longer than the other. That's the positive, and you have to observe polarity if you're going to use these. And here on the back of the board, you can see a plus and a minus. And you've got a plus and a minus, so you have to follow it and make sure you observe polarity if you're going to use the LED lights. I'm using an incandescent bulb, so it doesn't matter. Alright. So, let's see if I can do one of these. I can get this turned over. Let's see, which one can the camera see best? One on the end down here. Oh yeah, okay. So I'll do that, and I'm ready to pull the trigger. Oh, let me dip my solder tip into the water, and then we'll give this a try. Got him good and melted, and then you pull the trigger. Looks like it may have gotten it. I think my hand got in the way. Let me get my, try this one more time there. Yeah, there we go. Pull the trigger. Alright, that looks good. And then we'll do the other one. Yeah, I think that worked. Let's see if this bulb just pulls out. Yeah, oh, it does kind of. There it goes. Yeah, it just came right out. Let's see if the new one will push in there. had it clamped on my power supply over there for testing, and now my wires are kind of bent up. Oh, that one's going in. And that one's, yeah, nice. And it needs to be right there would be close approximation to where the, maybe out just a little bit. Yeah, right there. How does that look to y'all? Does that look about right? You can see the, oops. See the new bulb. Haven't soldered it in yet. Let's see here if I can get around to this side where I'm going to solder it. Yeah. Alright, here comes the solder. Okay. Now I probably want to turn this over so I get a good puddle. Maybe it'll sit on top of that. No, it won't. That should puddle pretty good. Alright, you don't want to put a whole lot of heat on this, just enough to there, that one went. Okay, let's get this one. Oh yeah, there it went. Got them both. Look at that. Nice. Alright, where are my little snips? My little bitty snips. I'm going to have to use the big ones. Alright, use the big ones. If it works, I'll use them. Cut that little piece of wire off. I'll have to find my little snips. I prefer them, but that worked. Alright, so one bulb down, 1, 2, 3, looks like, well, 7 more to go. So we'll do those next. Alright, we'll go ahead and finish up the desolder on these. Instead of flipping it back and forth for each time, we'll just go ahead and finish these up. Let me get some. It would have helped if I would have had it loaded. There we go. I got that one. Let's go on to the next two. Helps to have it loaded and ready to go. And it helps to hold it on there. Okay, got it. Yeah, that went better. Alright, so move on to the next 4. Y'all can see that. Alright. 1, 2, 3, 4. There, that looks good. 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 Alright, so I'll go ahead and switch off the soldering iron, and let's see which light's made. Oh, that needs, better leave him on. I've got to, looks like that needs to be hit again. Oops. Alright. Let's see. See if I can just put heat on it. Just pull it out. There we go. Yeah. Got that one out. And then what I can do is clean up the hole with this, like so. There we go, I see a hole there now for the next wire. Yeah, that works. So what I'm doing, let's see if y'all can see that, I'm just going to heat it up with the soldering iron and pull the bulb out. And then I'll use my vacuum, my solder sucker to, I'm not sure if y'all can see, but I'm going to do it this way. It seems to be, get it hot, and then you can pull a wire out and then get the other one hot. And it should be able to pull that out. There comes that one, and then one more. There it goes. So I got it out that way. And then you can use your tool to clean up the hole so you can get the new bulb wires in there. So you do it. Now you want to suck all that out. Like so. Let's see here. That looks good. Do this one. Gotta get it right on there. Yeah, looks good. Alright, so we'll just finish these up and then put all the new bulbs in. Alright, getting those bulbs in, you can see I've got 1, 2, 3, 4. Those are soldered in. I still need to trim them. And then we're going to do the next 4. I got one in, as you can see. And I'm going to put in the second one. I haven't soldered these yet. See if I can fish it through that. There we go. And I left this last bulb in there already since I know it's a factory original and it's got the correct calibration or distance out. And I'm trying to match that with these bulbs. As close approximation anyway. Yeah, there we go. 1, 2, and then the third one. There we go. That looks like a very close approximation there. And so I'll go ahead and unsolder this one, pull him out. There, got it. And let's see if this will go in there without having to clean it up anymore. Looks like that goes in. That one does too. Nice. Usually it's the last one that gives you the fit, and this one's not. He's going right in. Well, he was. Here we go. Yeah. Here we go. So, that's how she looks. We'll go ahead and solder these in. See if I can get this turned over. Little dab will do ya. There we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oops, didn't go. Come on. There it goes. It finally wicked. Come on, wick. There we go. Got it. And then we'll give it the old pull test. Yeah, that's in there. In. And it looks like it wicked really well as well. I'm going to go try and find my little cutters so I can cut these better. Not that anyone would ever see this again. It'll probably last another 40-50 years. But I'll know, so I want to make sure it's right. So let me go find my little bitty dikes. Yay, found them. Alright, as a side note, every time you snip one of these, collect it and throw it away. If you drop one of these down into your little wire that you snip off, you drop that down in there and you can't find it, you better, because you may crowbar something in there and ruin it. So make sure you collect each one. So take your time and throw them away. You do not want a little, but these things probably can carry 5-10 amps. It's enough to do your main board damage if you drop it in there and you can't find it. Oh well, put it back together and then you power it up and then you have smoke coming out of your amp because it crowbarred something. Alright, so you want to make sure you tend to that. Do them one at a time. And toss them in the can. Do not drop one, but if you do, find it. Alright, last one. Good. Now then, looking at this is plastic, and this is plastic, so it appears to me as though I should be able to power this on and see all these lights come on now as a test. And it shouldn't cause any crowbarring, like throwing a, it's a term engineers use to mean a short, like throwing a crowbar across your car battery. Pow, sparks fly, right? Like an arc welder. So anyway, it's called crowbarring in the engineering world. But anyway, I don't see that that's possible at all with this floating like that. It's not touching anything conductive. So I'm going to plug this in. Get these old bulbs out of the way. Just see how it looks. There we go. Yay! Look at that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Alright. Alright, we tested all 8 bulbs good. It's no longer plugged in. So now I'm going to flip this over and see if I can get it back together And make sure all the bulbs get in their respective positions, holes, and there we go. Nice. Looks like that's going nicely. Let's do this side. Okay, we need to, oops, this one needs to get in there, so does he. Alright, looks like, let's see if I have a little pocket screwdriver. This bulb kind of got, there we go, nice. Alright, so the proof is going to be in the pudding. I'm going to put on the nylon washer and the nut applicable to that first. Wow, that just spins right on there now. Guess we cleaned up the threads. Put the nylon and the nut back on here. I wonder if these will... He's not as easy. Makes you question if you have it on there correctly when it's that hard. Yeah, that's going on there, so I know it's right. You know, what I'll do is I have this lubricant anti-oxidizer spray. I'll put a little on there. Maybe I put a little on each nut. Maybe there's some, maybe that white stuff was just oxidation. And I don't want to drop this nut in there any more than I want to drop one of those little wires. So yeah, got him started. Boy, that's just really obstinate. But it's going. Not nearly as obstinate as it was getting him off. Yep, what's going on? Papers. Alright, get this last nut on here on this end. Oh, and that spins on really nice. Yay! That was the one that was most difficult getting it off initially. Alright, so this part's going to be kind of boring, just taking my time spinning these nuts down, so I won't bore y'all with that. We'll come back when I've got all four of those tight. Okay, so just about to wrap this up, and I did say get them tight. I really didn't mean to say that, and then I meant to say is you get them just snug. You don't want to, oh, he's getting all the way down. Yeah, just snug is all you want. You don't want to bear down on these components. Just, yeah, I can feel that snug. And let's finish this one. Oh yeah, right there. That's all you want. Because you never know how long these amps live. They're just so robust and engineered so well, and they make so much power. I mean, you see how much heat sink there is, right? Just a thing of beauty. Alright, so what I want to do now is plug this in, and we can see it first time together. I know it's upside down, but we'll see how the lighting is this way, and if that looks good, we'll put this cover back on, and then we'll turn it over and look at it how it should be presented. But let's try this. Alright, wish me luck. There. Alright. Oh, it has a nice glow. I know that's probably hard to see because I've got these bright shop lights on right now, but Oh yeah, that's a thing of beauty. And if I turn my shop lights off, I have to turn my power strip off. I won't have anything in here. Yeah, looks great. All right, we'll get her finished putting back together. Alrighty, I think I have a way of turning the shop lights off here, and then we can see how it looks, because it's still daylight outside. There will be some ambient light in here, but let's put this on. It's unplugged, and I'll get the screws here. And we'll get this bottom plate put back on here. It hopefully should look factory original, how it came from Bob Carver at Phase Linear. That was his company, by the way. And story is he got divorced and lost the company in the settlement and started another company after his divorce, and got one of his amps up there called Carver, appropriately named after Bob Carver. Alright, let's turn this over now that it's all... What's rattling there? Oh, it's a cover over the heatsink. Oh, that's interesting how Bob did that. Alright. Oh, and there's another side note. These are well protected amps. They're fused. And the fuses here, they're actually labeled here on the side. This one here is a 5AX fuse. The next one's a 5AX fuse, and then an 8 AGC line fuse. So you need a couple of 5AX fuses to go here, and this protects the speakers, this protects the power input. So they're very well protected, and make sure you oh, for testing they're saying you can use an 8 GX in here, because when you put a straight sinusoid in with a signal generator, it draws more current. But for playing music, you want to use the 5AX for both of these. Alright, so let's go around here to the front, and I'm going to get the plug, and then I'm going to turn off the shop light. And then let's just plug it in and see what it does. Look at that. Oh, let me turn off this other shop light. That looks original. Oh, let me close my lab door. Wow, now it's too dark in here, but boy, that's a thing of beauty. Turn this shop light back on. So if you're in your stereo room, so look at that. That's exactly what you want. Yep, so go with the incandescent bulbs, and there you have it. Phase Linear Power Amplifier, 50 years old, and it sounds as good as it looks now. What a beautiful amp. These are very, very stiff amps. You can power, I know they're, what, 200 watts a side. I don't know if that's RMS, root mean square value, or if that's RMS, or if that's peak value. I can tell you this, I have a pair of Magna pans which are power hungry, and this amp will easily power them, and they sound brilliant. This is not just wattage power, but it's high current. So if you have an inefficient speaker that needs a lot of current to get it excited so it sounds good, get you a Phase Linear. Alright, hope you enjoyed this. Have any questions, leave it in the comments below. Thanks for watching. Have fun with your audio and have fun replacing your bulbs. Just take your time, you'll get it. This is Shady Grady out. God bless, take care, enjoy the sound.